Super happy. Nate, what do you think about Nate? What do you think about Terrence Crawford and what do you think about Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence? Man, they weren't able to get it
I know.
together.
I wish that fight went. That's the best fight I can think of.
Who do you think wins that fight? Who like
Where's Chris?
if it does get done ever? Do you lean one way or the other?
No. I'm not gonna speak on that. I think they're both great. It's gonna be a good fight when it does happen.
That's
I
crazy.
thought it was gonna happen though, but I don't know what happened.
How's being a free agent, man? How's that feel?
Feels feels good. I haven't even done anything. I just feel good. Feels good to do whatever.
Just to kind of be free of all of it, right?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Has Chris been sparring bigger guys to kind of account for the size of the doctor here?
Yeah, we always spar bigger people anyway. Because you run out of sparring partners, you spar everybody.
Spar you? Because you got kind of some size.
Been sparring more rounds with him than anybody since 10 years, 15 years ago. So, I'm easy for him. He knows me. We get him with somebody else big. He usually works him over, so it's good.
Jake, are you looking at Jake Paul this weekend and kind of, I don't know, maybe rooting for him in a sense because maybe, like a fight between you and Jake can generate a lot of money?
Yeah, whatever. I'm just thinking that at the moment right now, and then we'll see what happens day by day, month by the month.
That's one for me, man. Well, what do you recall about when you sparred Andre Ward?
It's one of the better experiences in my martial arts career. Higher level than anybody in the game still today. So I took that. I keep it forever.
That's awesome, bro. Thank you for your time, brother. Appreciate you.
4-round cruiserweight bout that kicks off.
Steven Cordeño right here with the beautiful Julia Rose. Man, it's fight week. It's fight week. What is kind of your role on fight week for with Jake Paul?
Hands on anything that he needs besides himself. Not allowed to touch Jake Paul, but I am allowed to help him with anything else he needs help with.
That's funny. Hands on everything except him.
Yeah, hands on everything except him.
Right. This is the first time he has not been favored in a boxing match.
Actually, he is a favorite now.
Oh, he is a favorite.
Yes,
now.
it just switched like 2 days ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
I know.
Well, I mean, obviously off the camp he was not,
Yeah.
right? Did you see a change? Was there a difference being that, like people think he's not gonna win? Was a motivating
I think if
factor?
anything, it motivates him even more. I mean, that's his, there's a lot of things that motivate Jake, during fight week and getting ready for these fights. But I think the number one motivating thing is like, let's prove these people wrong. And he wants to show people what he's made of. So if anything, it just adds fuel to the fire.
What has he told you about, when he was a kid and Logan and him took a picture with Anderson and, just the realization of like, wow, like I was that kid taking a picture, something just, man, this is my idol and now it's I have to face him.
I think it just makes it more just like surreal. Like he's in this moment, and I think just it coming full circle like this, and it really puts it in perspective for him that this is his dream and he's making it happen one fight at a time.
What's it like when you guys started, it was just, a YouTuber just doing that stuff and you got thrusted into being like a fighter's mate. What was that experience for you like?
I mean, I've seen ever since I met Jake Paul, whether he's doing business, YouTube, whatever it is, he gives 100% of himself. So when we got into the fighting world and he gave 100% of himself, I didn't expect anything less. So it was, it's Jake, and I was, whatever makes him happy, I'm here to support him and do what it takes to make his dreams come true.
Talk about that, like emotional roller coaster of like actual fight night. He's in the ring, you're right there. I mean, I'm sure you're close. You see the sweat flying off of him and the other guy. What's that emotional roller coaster like?
I feel like obviously it's emotional, right? You see anyone you love going to the ring and fight, it's emotional to watch them do that. But being in training camp and watching him spar, like the amount of times I've gotten sweat dripped on me during spar. It's going through those moments and seeing how much work he puts in day in after day in. So it's like after seeing that, you kind of go into it with a different perspective. He's ready, he's prepared, and it's all on him. He's got this.
Do you think about that stuff? Like, shit, I can't wear anything that could get blood or sweat on when you're close?
You can follow me at Julie Rivers for President on Instagram.
There it
And
is.
watch the fight October 29th, Saturday night. Be there.
Steve Guarino, KL Sports are here with BJ Flores. Man, first time he's ever not been favored, Jake Paul. In camp, was there any difference that you saw just being that he wasn't favored and it was the first time ever, and maybe he had that motivation of like, this guy's not going to kick my ass even though people think he is?
Business as usual, man. We're excited about it. Like Jake's been working his ass off. Jake's been grinding out every day, and it's just a great opportunity for Jake to get out there with a guy who people think is going to beat him, and get out there and show the fans what he's been doing in training camp. And I'll tell you right now, it's been a lot since last December when he fought to where he's at now is completely different.
What? Obviously, everyone's talking about, Jake took that picture with Anderson when he was younger.
Incredible.
Did he talk to you about that at all? Just kind of the significance of like, man, this guy was my idol and now he's my rival.
Yeah, I understand that. It's great. Like, I think a lot of times we're young up and coming fighters, watch their idols, take pictures with them, and then they get to the point where they can potentially fight and things like that. But look, I mean, Jake's a professional, Anderson's a professional. Maybe there was feelings in the past. Once the bell rings, they're both going to go out there and they both got a job to do, and I'm sure they'll both do it.
Jake, your critics have talked about like his stamina. He gets maybe a little tired. I mean, he is, 6 fights and 8 rounds, which is, I feel like most people are on 6 fights, it's still 4-rounders, things like that. So it's almost double what the average is. Do you feel that that's an issue at all? Or?
Not at all. Not at all. Like I said, like every great fighter has. Floyd couldn't punch. Tommy Hearns didn't have a chin. Sugar Ray Leonard, he wasn't serious. And there's always critics. You can't worry about that. But I'll tell you this: Jake's ready for 8 rounds. Jake's ready for 4 rounds. Jake's ready for what? Doesn't matter what it is. We just go 1 round at a time. But Jake's gonna be ready, and I'm not worried about that at all. We've sparred 8-10 rounds in camp, rotating multiple guys in many times. So.
How was Chad Dawson in camp?
Great. He's excellent. Name, man. He's a champion. He's a professional. He's excellent. Him, Rydell Booker, Richard Van Sicklen, 14-0 up and coming prospect. Rydell Booker, 27-6, another good prospect, or another good, like an older fighter who's also very good. Robert Daniels Jr., 7-0, another good southpaw. I'm bringing all the best guys I can find because that's how I feel like Jake gets better. And when you're in there with better guys and you're in there with guys who bring something to the table, Jake's got to take it serious. Every day we sparred was almost like a fight. So there's no easy work. There's no practice. Like, we're just going to go easy. There's none of that. The Kronk style sparring every time, and that's what Jake was doing this whole camp.
I like that Kronk style. I like that because everyone knows that. Everyone knows those legends. Just as a boxing fan, man, I'm sure you were disappointed like the rest of us. Spence Crawford is not happening this year.
I'm not surprised.
Why is that?
I'm just not. I don't know. Like, I hear all the back and forth and everything, but like, look, the truth of the matter is, Spence is the draw. Spence should get the more money. Spence is the bigger name. Spence had sold more pay-per-views. And Terrence Crawford, if he wants to fight, he should take the recording money, whatever it is. And I'm sure there's more to it than that. The rematch clause. Why are you worried about all that? Just take the fight, bro. Like, you haven't sold what Spence has sold. Spence has sold a lot more. Recognize that as what it is. Take it for what it's worth. These aren't invented numbers. You know what I mean? Just take it for what it's worth. Take less of the money. If you think you can beat him, then beat him and go out and do it. And then you'll still make more money than you've ever made before. So I feel like Spence has not not fought very many good active champions before until Sean Porter, and Sean Porter's already a little, not going to say on the downside at all, but I'm just going to say Sean Porter's already kind of on the back part of his career. Terrence Crawford fighting Sean Porter 5 years ago, now that would have been a dog-ass fight. But I'm saying, like, I still can't really recall any names on the Terrence Crawford resume that make me think, oh man, he beat Errol Spence.
So in your opinion, if you had to put blame on why it didn't happen, you would kind of lean more towards Crawford?
I'm not going to blame either one because I'm not part of the negotiations. I'm just going to say that if you look at the numbers of it and you look at what Spence has sold compared to what Crawford sold, it's not that hard to figure out. Like, Spence should be paid more money, and you're trying to get, whatever money you're trying to get parity with Errol Spence and then a rematch. Bro, just recognize you're the B-side. If you can beat him, go beat him then. Go do it. Go beat him. It's still way more than you're ever going to make in your career. So take the fight, beat him, show everyone you can beat him, and then you can call the shots after that.
Right. I was going to say the rematch clause was whoever loses kind of takes the B-side role as far as money-wise.
That's fair. And
right.
Crawford should be the B-side on the first one because Spence has fought tougher guys and better guys.
Right.
Look at the resumes.
Last one, man. Hopefully, again, I mean, we'll see if it comes through, but the rumor is January 17th, Tank versus Ryan.
I love that. That's a great fight. And people are writing Ryan off, but he's a dangerous guy. Joe Goosden's got that boy looking real good, man. I'm a big Ryan fan. He looks good. But Tank, I don't have nothing bad to say about Tank at all. Tank's a great fighter. He's very explosive, very tough. Ryan better be careful. Ryan better keep his hands up. Ryan better learn how to move his head a little teeny bit better. But, man, I'm a big Ryan Garcia fan. I'm a big Tank fan, too. So if that fight gets made, I will be there ringside. I promise you that. I can't wait for that.
I mean, a lot of people, when I talk to them about it, they tend to tell me they think, Ryan maybe early or, not by knockout, but more just, kind of from the Rolly experience. Rolly was winning that fight prior to getting knocked out. Do you see kind of something like that? Maybe Ryan could kind of box him for a little bit and then, he just has to stay careful.
Tank is a knockout artist, though. Tank looks for that one shot. Tank's not trying to outpoint you. Tank's not trying to go out there and pity pat. Tank's setting you up like a sniper. So I can't. I mean, with Tank, you better be on guard 100. But you can never take time off with Tank. Tank is nice, and Tank is one of those guys where you better constantly be doing things to watch out for his left hand, his right uppercut, his right hook. I mean, he's got a lot of weapons, man. So you got to really, really be careful. And Ryan, when he fought Luke Campbell, got hit with that overhand left, and he was a southpaw too. I mean, look, he's kind of shown now. Luke Campbell's a taller southpaw and everything, but Gervonta Davis brings a lot of tools, and he brings a lot of danger. So it's one of those fights you got to sit on the edge of your seat. Both guys can punch. Tank's got the better resume, of course. He's been there longer, fighting better opposition for longer. But Ryan's a real talent, man. He's got a real ability. At 140, he looks fantastic.
Right. No, it looks great. BJ, thank you so much for your time. But tell the fans where they can follow you.
Instagram, BJ Flores Pro, and on Twitter, BJ Flores Pro, I think too. Yeah. So I don't really use it that much, but yeah, I appreciate it. Yep.
Best of luck, brother. Appreciate it. Coward Sports, we're here with the one and only Jalen Love.
Yo,
man, how's Jake looking, man? You guys doing any sparring this time around?
Nah. I've been sparring, but no, we did. I'm lying. We actually did a lot of fucking sparring. Yeah, we did.
I love it. What happened?
We did a lot of work. We did a lot of like shadow and touching work, like just a lot of little shit. But damn, they're like sparring for real. Because after a while, you start hitting each other and shit. So yeah. So
that's how it goes.
Yeah,
like,
bro, you hit me, all right, but I hit you back. Yeah,
fucking put a little too much on it.
Yeah, for sure. But he's ready, and we almost here finally.
Right. It's been a while. It's been you guys like 2 camps, right?
Man, that's all we've been doing. Man, look, I was supposed to go to Mykonos. I had a whole vacation. My girl mad at me. Man, I was supposed to do this, do that. I'm like, bro, they extending dates, and I'm like, bro, come on, like we trying to do the boxing shit. They say fight a boxer, so we tried. We offering guys a bunch of money that they don't deserve. They wasting a bunch of time. That shit fucked with me, man, because I really tried to give my man an opportunity, and he fucking blew it. Like, he blew it. Yeah, that shit was whack, man. That shit was super unprofessional. He wasted so many people's time. And crazy, what I felt is, honestly, he wanted the fame and the attention promotion more than the fight in the purse. He didn't give a fuck about that money. He didn't give a fuck. Jake about to buy this dude, bought us do a whole Corvette. The people don't even know that shit. Like,
He bought him a Corvette.
He bought this kid a Corvette fully loaded and was gonna give it to him for taking the fight. This is the same way he gave Willie a $90K, $100K watch. Like, that's nothing. Like, dude, that's the type of shit he doing. And that dude, they fucked that up. But we're here. That was then. This is now. We here. We ready to fucking roll, bro. We've been in camp for damn near almost a year. Like,
Did
we
you
ready
keep
to.
the receipt on the court? You return it or what?
He gave the shit away.
No shit.
He gave it away.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's, shit.
Wow.
When you on that type of long time, his level here, you
You can do shit like that.
do shit like that. I ain't giving shit away. Hell no. But yeah, no, man, he ready, bro.
What?
I'm ready. Our team is ready. We had great sparring. Man, our sparring partners was fucking great, bro. We
Chad Dawson, right?
Chad Dawson, but not just Chad Dawson. Come on, I got my guys. Come on. Got my guys. We had so much fucking work. These guys put in work day in and day out. Ran, they did everything, man. You got Rodell Booker, man, who came in and give us a different look. He got so much fucking experience. He's been around and been to so many different camps.
World class heavyweight fight.
Yeah, man. So you know what I'm saying?
You were sparring with Jake too?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got my dude Richard here, bro. 13 0 out of San Diego, bro. Full ready. Anybody want that smoke? Get at my guy. He's ready, bro. He's cracking the rankings. So shout out to these dudes because they fucking was there through hurricanes and all that shit, bro. So yeah, I had to get them that right there. They definitely did that.
How was just being that you were in the ring with him too? How did he do against you left-handed?
Yeah,
How did he do? Like,
he surprised me. Like, you see a lot of videos online, but you don't really know until you get in the ring with somebody. And he surprised me. He has power. So Silva, is in for it. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a real good fight.
Is it one of those things when you were sparring with him, the kind of like battle right of the foot on the outside and stuff like that? Did you go through a lot of that?
Yeah, I mean he's very smart. His IQ is there, and he's there to learn. So he's not. If you get something on him, the next time he's gonna take it away from you. So he's a smart fighter. It's a lot smarter than I thought. Yeah.
Plus, he got the fucking best training in the world, man. That's it. Of course, he's gonna be smart. I'm not surprised. Everybody else is. This is what we do.
Man, he wasn't favored up until recently, I want to say.
Yes.
Did that change anything
For us?
No, like with him. Did you see any difference of him maybe pushing more or anything
Again,
like that?
that's what he lived for. It's been doubted since the beginning. At the end of the day, that's what he does. You doubt him, he gonna show you wrong. So it's cool to just add fuel to the fire. That's cool. Y'all think you gonna beat me? Okay. You know what I mean?
Man, just I know you know boxing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you were disappointed like the rest of us. Spence Crawford is not happening.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, bro, it's the business and things. Bro, we seen a lot of fights that go back. We talking about Floyd days, where trying to make the fight, it don't happen, whatever it may be, part of the game. But hopefully, maybe next year sometime they can get on one accord and make it happen. Because it's definitely a fight that need to happen.
Do you place the blame on? What's that?
You see who Spence mandatory is not for the IPF.
What?
They ordered
And he enforced it.
IPF ordered it.
And he petitioned to enforce it. So
he's
that's going to
got-
create a lot of problems, I think. I think that's it. I think it's passed because Stanionis, I want to say, did the same. Boots is doing it.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
so do you place the blame on anybody for it not coming? Do you feel like there was one party more than the other that maybe not?
Who knows? I wasn't at the table. I can't really say. I don't know as far as detail. All I know is the same as what everybody else knows. The fight ain't happening. So I don't know the details. I know that Al is a fucking stellar businessman. I know that he always wants to put his guys in the best position. So at the end of the day, I don't see where it went wrong. I don't know what happened. But it's part of the business. Like I said, hopefully later on in the future we can get that fight because it's a good one.
Just he brought up Boots or Virgil Ortiz, who
Man.
they're the next generation.
Yeah, no, that
obviously,
shit.
but
Yeah,
who
Virgil is
just settled.
Virgil's a bad motherfucker. Like quiet assassin, cool ass dude. I like Virgil a lot. Fucking badass dude. But motherfucking Boots, goddamn, that bitch right there, that's a problem for us. That's a bad boy. Philly's own Boots, man. That kid, shit. Every time I'm like, damn. It's sharp ain't the word for him.
Right.
You know, we got a term in boxing, sharp fighter. I feel like he's over. He's the next level of sharp. I don't even know what that is, but that motherfucker gonna go. When it's time, he gonna go and keep going. Shout out to Boots, man. Shout out to
got Philly playing in the background right now.
Big Meek, man.
Daily, I appreciate your time.
You already know.
They can follow you.
Man, you already know. J. Leon Love on all social media platforms, man. Send some love, I get love back. You know what it is.
Tell the fans, brother, where they can follow you.
Richard Van Sicklen, Team Van Sicklen on Instagram or Facebook. Get at me. Bye, baby.
Where can the fans follow you?
Rydell Booker, Rydell Booker, Rydell_Booker, RYDELL Booker, BRKER. Get at me. Detroit finest. We Detroit finest, baby. We started this from the mud.
Moving to your dream home with a not-so-dreamy color? You need the power of CertaPro painters. The power to paint your home the color you really want. The power of Pro. Start your project at CertaPro.com.
The fact is, 90% of hair loss cases in men are caused by scalp condition, which is the consequence of one bad habit in daily routine. To check your scalp condition, just try to pinch the scalp. If you're able to pinch it as you can do to the skin on the back of the hand, then congratulations. Your scalp is totally healthy, and there's no risk to have male pattern baldness. But if it's not, that means your scalp is getting harder, and that is the first stage of hair loss in men.
Let's figure out how to cure thinning hair. Expecting the result of the medications such as minoxidil, finasteride, or biotin? I've spent a lot of money on those products, but none of them worked. Moreover, those risky medications always caused me headaches, and I ended up seeking help from a doctor. So, how about using hair growth products? I'm sure many men have tried it already. Unfortunately, this method is very ineffective. Let's be honest, it's the best way to waste your money. Because the real cause of hair loss is not genes, it's about sebum plugs. 90% of male pattern baldness happen because the hair follicles have been buried in sebum plugs. The mixture of old sebum and dirt buried the hair that's supposed to grow. Because the pores are blocked, only one hair is able to grow from the pore at most. Moreover, it's impossible to feel any change on this scalp condition, even if you use any of the high-end hair growth products.
Jake, I had two questions. Just one in regards, you mentioned about fights not being named. Obviously, I'm sure you wanted to see Spence and Crawford. Yeah. Was that also one of the, unfortunate things that you were talking about that boxing isn't getting done?
Yeah, no, it sucks, and it sucks for the fans. The fans are the ones that get hurt, and it's bad. This is why the sport has gone to bad places before. It's gone to scary moments where you think the sport's gonna end up dying out because big fights like this aren't happening. Like why didn't we get Fury Joshua? There's just so many instances where big fights should be made and they're just not. And I don't know what it is, and no one will ever know. And that's what's frustrating because people just say it was him, it was them, it was this, it was that promoter, it was the rights, blah, 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 and you never really actually know the truth. So that's why I commend the UFC actually is getting those big fights to happen and making those mandatory fights. And that's why they've had so much success.
Jake, you said what exactly has David done?
Man, the list goes on, and some of it I can't even speak on. But he's been sending cease and desist for my content promoting this fight, and just doing things behind the scenes that are really shady. And we're just finding out more and more stuff as the promotion goes on. I'm sure I'll speak on it more at a later date.
Why is Jake so preoccupied with you?
I think it's because I'm the number one figurehead that is exposing his business model and how much of a shark he is and how poorly he treats his fighters. And he said I wouldn't fight Anderson Silva, who's one of UFC's greats. And now here I am fighting him, and he largely in part promoted that. He's the one that, he's the reason why I took this fight is to prove him wrong and to shut him the hell up.
Are you aware that he banned a friend of yours from coming to events because you came along.
Yeah, he banned me too.
But are you aware that he banned your friend?
Yeah, he banned all of them that came together. So he's just he's doing anything he can to stop me and my friends, I guess.
Jake, he recently came out and said that he doesn't want people to talk about you anymore at his press conferences.
Yeah, it's that, and he's also telling reporters, like you said, not to talk about me because he doesn't want my fights to be big. He wants to be the only cash cow in town. He wants to run the fight game, and I'm a threat to him being able to do that.
Do you think he'll mention you after this fight, win or lose, being that?
I mean, I think the media will bring it up, and then he'll just go, "Stop asking me fucking questions about this guy."
Jay, you mentioned that Dana White has sort of been trying to sabotage this event. Has it been just like minor headaches, or I guess have to like put out some big fires?
There's been some big fires. I can't really talk about it, but I'm sure the truth always comes out.
Jake, how much concern do you have? White's a title in this game, right? And you say he feels threatened.
Yeah.
Is that in a way motivating?
No, it's a great sign. It's a great sign, and what he doesn't realize is he's just adding fuel to the fire. But he's trying to do anything he can to stop me. But it is cool that I am so on his radar that he feels threatened enough to care this much to try and sabotage my event.
Jake, the people on Anderson on the better ticket. What round are you ending the fight, Jake?
Man, I'm thinking it's going to be round 3. Get your better ticket. You can win $100,000. Stop playing.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Meeting coming up at Anderson in a few hours.
No, not concerned.
That's it. We're done. Come. Thank you all.
Sorry, guys.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Watch football all season long, live and cable-free.
Stephen Coreno right here with the great Ariel Helwani. Man, we're here, Paul versus Silva. I remember a month or so ago, you kind of came out against, kind of said some words against Jake Paul. You know, he had a take on Costa versus Rockhold. Thank you. And it was, I mean, I think you were right. It was a bad take. It was a great fight. You know, he kind of came out talking bad about it. Did you feel that was maybe jeopardizing this opportunity at any point?
No, I don't think one had much to do with the other. And if it did, then so be it. You know, what could I do? I was just, well, to be honest, he wrote to me first. So I was just responding and perhaps defending, you know, my MMA guy, Luke. And I thought it was an incredible fight. And see, we're all good. It was no problem. I was laughing at people saying that, oh, I was replaced by Chael. No, I was during my show. I couldn't go. It was in the middle of the week. So we're all good. No problem. And I didn't worry about that. If you're going to worry about those things, then I don't think you could be doing this job. You know, you'd hope that there's mutual respect. And obviously I'm working for Showtime here, so it's all good.
Man, the fight it's kind of incredible that we're here, you know, a YouTuber fighting possibly the greatest of all time. What's your reaction from the MMA community about this fight?
The MMA community seems to be really into it. You could see there's a ton of MMA media here, and I think they're covering this more than the boxing media. Obviously, Anderson is a legend. Obviously, he's someone that we think very highly of and have a kinship towards. So this feels like more than a boxing, like it feels more like an MMA event, right? It's a weird thing. So I like it. I like the fact that they show respect to Anderson still after all these years. I like the fact that, you know, Uriah's getting respect. Uriah Hall, Chris Abila's on the card. I mean, there's very much an MMA thread throughout this card, and it's nice to see all the MMA media covering it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely great, man. Do you think if Jake Paul were to win this fight, do you think kind of the clear front runner for the next guy is Nate Diaz, being that he's, you know, out of the UFC and a free agent now?
I feel like that's the fight to make. He's free. He will be free in short order once his exclusive negotiation period is up. I feel like that would be gigantic, especially if he beats Anderson. That would be a spectacle. So, of course, there are other people that they can look at, but to me, choice number one, without a doubt, would be Nathan Diaz.
That'd be another great kind of spectacle, and a lot of MMA, I'm sure, will come up for that too. Man, let's talk about boxing real quick. I'm sure you're disappointed because you're a fan like the rest of us. Spence Crawford didn't get made. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
It was very disappointing, especially the reports were all that it was like a done deal, right? It was on the verge of being done. It was, fait accompli, as they say. So that was very disappointing. And then no Fury Usyk, and then no Fury Joshua, and we get 2 fights that we didn't.
Tank Ryan.
Yeah. And now we're hearing the same thing about Tank Ryan. It's like, there's a framework in place. And I was like, yeah, wake me up when we're at a press conference, right? Let me know when that's a done deal. So yeah, disappointing. I think boxing had a great year. It doesn't make me feel any different about it. I always sort of felt like Crawford Spence wasn't going to happen. It felt too good to be true, just because they're so, they're so great, and it feels like those fights happen too late, and it doesn't feel like it's too late yet. Still holding out hope that we'll see that, and I would love to see Fury Usyk as well. And by the way, shout out to the women. The women are putting together the fights, right? We got Taylor Serrano, we got Marshall and Shields, and we got Baumgartner and Michaela Mayer, Katie Taylor fighting this weekend. I'm a big fan of hers. Not in a mega fight, but hopefully we get to see Taylor Serrano too. So it's been a great year. It's a bummer. Those 2 fights not getting done around the same time is a bummer, but it's still been a great year.
Right. Man, I just want to talk to UFC real quick. Islam beat Charles. It's a good fight. He finished him kind of. I think that's how people thought the fight would finish if Islam were to win. I mean, what's next for Islam? Does he kind of start the Michael Chandler, the DP, the kind of the same guys, basically Charles beat just to, as champion and defend the title? I mean, who is that?
Alex Volkanovski, the 45 champ, going up from featherweight to lightweight to fight him probably February 11th in Perth. That's going to be the fight. I mean, they essentially made it in the cage. So now it's going to be a spectacle. Alex is so good. I'm so impressed by him, and Islam looked incredible in that fight. So that's the one that I would do.
I've been hearing rumors of September 10th, John Jones return. Do you know? 10th. December 10th, right? Is that correct?
No, it was a thing, and they wanted it to happen, but I think I don't know. I think the ship has sailed on that one. So they're going to try to do it in March. But again, like in boxing, these big guys, it's hard to get them to commit. But yeah, they try, but I don't think it's going to happen anymore.
Would it be Stipe, you think? Is that kind of what they're both waiting for?
Initially, they wanted Francis, and then Francis wasn't available, so they went to Stipe. But I think now that there's no Stipe, they're going to go back to Francis and try to make it happen in March if he re-signs with the UFC.
And just lastly, you brought up Francis. What's going on with Francis? I know he, is recovering from the knee issue. Yeah. And I believe I was watching your show and you were saying, I think his UFC contract terminates at the end of the calendar year.
Yeah, at the end of the calendar year, his contract is up. So we'll see what happens. I think it's like mid-December. So I think he's going to resign. I feel like he is. There haven't been any serious talks, but I think they'll make it happen. And honestly, if you look what's out there, like where else is he going to go, right? He wanted the Fury fight, but it doesn't seem like Fury's going to make it happen. So I think he'll resign. And then if he resigns, then hopefully we could see that Jones fight in March.
Would you just take like any boxing match just to get little boxing money? I mean, do you think he'd do that in the interim?
Ultimately, I feel like there's more money at this point for him in the UFC as UFC heavyweight champion. Maybe a one-off here or there, and maybe he gets the UFC to agree to that. But I'd love to see him fight John Jones.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Ariel, thank you so much for your time. But tell the fans where they could follow you, all the stuff you do.
Just watch Showtime pay-per-view this Saturday. It's going to be great. 9 p.m. Eastern. I'll be on the call, and I can't wait.
There it is. Appreciate you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Question: would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million?
Here we go. It's the bout you've all been waiting for, the main event. 8 rounds of boxing in our cruiserweight special attraction. At this time, please welcome to the stage, fighting out of Los Angeles by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil. With about 2 record of 3 wins, 1 loss, all 3 wins coming by way of knockout. He'll be making his Showtime debut. Here's the MMA legend, the long-time renowned former UFC middleweight champion, Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva weighs at 186 pounds. Everett 186 pounds. And ladies and gentlemen, at this time, before we bring out his opponent, we have a very special guest we would like to invite onto the stage at this time. Truly one of the greatest MMA fighters ever. Please welcome the former two-division UFC welterweight and middleweight champion of the world, George St-Pierre. And now we bring out the inside of this fight, fighting out of Dorado, Puerto Rico, by way of Cleveland, Ohio. Undefeated in the boxing ring with a record of 5 wins, no losses, 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Here we're now content creator, the popular social media superstar, Ariel Helwani, introducing the problem child, watching my paper, almost a decade. Quite impressive, most of the business in the essence. All this rap shit that I stand for, expand onto the big screen. Bill Gates, but it's each rap singing, then on the same page. Walking on the same fast, but good things last. Like you're making a dream, still moving to recast. First rap with a grip of time, like that. And the problem child is always in at 186 and 1.5 pounds. 186.5 pounds for King. Wanna hate me, then hate me. What can I do but keep getting money? Money, I'm just like you. And I'm so hard, never be. Until I made it down, y'all saying that's a clever nigga. Nothing to play with. Ain't on me, I'm around the same old shit. When you want to talk this shit, some young niggas out the hood, money down on the say I'm just the hood, can't out of the hood. Should I step up? Give up to you. My cause, I got two.
I've been getting paid $1,000 a month, if not more, just from this app on my phone.
Hey George, your former division, John Jones stepping up to heavyweight, maybe fighting Stipe and then Francis.
Well, I've seen it in the red carpet when I got inducted to Hall of Fame. And I took a picture and I put my arm around him. I was like, man, he's solid like a rock and he's huge. Yeah, yeah, John Jones, he's solid like a rock. He looked huge. And looked like he put the weight at the right place. Like I can't wait. I'm a fan of John Jones. I like to see him fight. I can't wait to see him come back. A lot of people is like, yeah, he was out for a long time. Sorry, he was out for a long time, but he's John Jones. You know what I mean? Don't forget that he's John Jones. He's like arguably the best fighter of all time too. Like he can make a comeback, and I think he's gonna be successful when he does.
To move up and like, wait, you've done it. Like you've had a
yeah, I've done it the wrong way though. I've tried to put on weight. I prepared myself a long time. I tried to eat and put on weight, but with the stress, it creates problems. And if I would have to done it again, if I could come back and tell a younger George before he trying to put on weight, I would have tell him to just stay the way you're at your natural weight, because you're not gonna have any health issues and you will perform even probably better. But certain guys has the different abilities. You know what I mean? I have a hard time putting on weight. That's the way my body is. Some guys, they can put on weight easier. Depend if you're an endomorph, mesomorph, ectomorph. A lot of guys has different tools. Like different ways of doing it, and it's easier for them.
George, what are your thoughts? We've seen your contemporaries in MMA be brutally KO'd, kind of in sequence by Jake Paul. What are some of the thoughts that are going through a legend like your mind when you're watching him kind of walk down the who's who of MMA?
Well, it's sad when I see a guy that end up his career in a humiliating way. Like I mean, it's good for the fans because it's a crazy good highlight. I like tomorrow, to tell you the truth, I like both guys. I just wish there will be a winner and a loser, but I just wish that the fight happen in a way that the both of these guys can showcase their skills and look good. Even if they lose, it could be a very entertaining fight, and both of them will be able to showcase their skill, and that's the only thing. And I hope nobody will get badly hurt.
Khabib recently retired as well. He seems to be a guy who's at peace with retirement.
Yeah.
Where does Khabib kind of rank for you in UFC all time?
One of the greatest of all time too. I mean, the greatest of all time is not born yet, because fighters has performance that keep getting better. The best fighter of all time is not even born the GOAT. But if I have to choose, for me is Royce Gracie, because I don't think his performance, his kinds of performance will ever be replicated during my living.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, George. Take care, man. Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, guys. So I'm here ringside. Paul versus Silva. It looks like it's about to start in a couple minutes here, so make sure you buy the pay-per-view or find it wherever you're going to watch it. Yeah, it's pretty cracking here. So thank you guys for watching, much appreciated, and I'll see you guys at the next one.